video has very bad audio and video quality. Please don't dislike or unsubscribe because of the audio and or video quality. My video recording software was kind of freaking out, so anyone who works for Sorry, please try to get that fixed because it annoys me so much. I tried everything but nothing works. Thanks for liking the video and I'll see you guys later. By the way, I couldn't have a proper intro, so sorry. Bye!
What in the living daylights is going on, guys? It's your boy Watty, the Derp Lord, signing in here from Matt Associations, and welcome to a Scratch tutorial video. In this video, I will be tutorialing you guys how to play a wonderful, how to use a wonderful program called Scratch. Now, in the last tutorial, we made this masterpiece. Now, just admire it. Remember this?
I was running through the six with my walk. You know how that shit go. You know how that shit go.
Yeah, good times. But in this video, we have a completely different objective. So this is basically all we did in the last video. Let me just make that a bit good. We made a backdrop and we made a cat run or walk slowly, very slowly, across the stage. Now, by the end of this video, my aim is to bring another character in and let it talk with the cat and let the cat move around on stage. That's basically it. So let the cat like move with the arrow keys, let the arrow keys function the cat, and then bring another sprite out and let that interact with the cat on the stage. So let's get right into it. So first of all, what we want to do is literally take away this entire thing. Just drag it into the blocks area, and that's just gonna delete it. So let's bring out the when green flag clicked again. I don't know why I took that out. So bring out the when green flag clicked, and from here what we would want to do is go to controls and bring out an if loop. Now, as you can see with the if loop, there's a kind of like shaded box area type thing like right here. Now what that does, it allows us to put one of either sensing operators, one of these blocks in it, the ones with like the diagonal end to it. Like you see some in sensing, are there any sound? No, none in sound, none in data, none in looks, none in motion, none in events, none in control, but they're pretty much just in sensing and operators. So yeah, that's a thing. So what we want to do is go to sensing, because it's something that's happening, the cat can sense it, and bring out a key space pressed button. Now from here, literally all we have to do is go to motion and then click out and drag out the move 10 steps button and snap that into the if loop. We're basically finished with the syntax. Now all we have to do is edit it. So we want to duplicate this 4 times for each of the, should we just go left or right? Alright, let's just go left or right. So we only duplicate it twice, one for the left arrow keys and one for the right arrow keys. So look at the drop down menu for the sensing block and go down a tiny bit to where you see left arrow. And then go to the next drop down menu and go where you see right arrow. Now the first loop will say if key left arrow pressed, then move 10 steps. And the second one will say if key right arrow pressed, then move 10 steps. Now, these would pretty much do the same thing. As you can see, it's just moving 10 steps. But the thing is, it's only pointing in the direction that it's in, which is that direction. So what we would want to do is, first of all, set the rotation style to left to right, as we did before, and then bring out an if on edge bounce block. And the thing is, with the pointing, the direction that it's in, actually I did this wrong, oops. Set if on edge bounce, take the if on edge bounce out of the entire thing and just drop it back into the blocks area. What I meant to do is bring out a point in direction block. Now that is on the other side, that's on the top, that's near to the top of motion. As you can see, the move 10 steps is at the top, then it's turned, and then it's point 90 degrees. Now drag that out to both of your loops. But the most important thing to remember to do, as you can see, it's above the move 10 steps block. So if I put the move 10 steps block back in there, you can pull out the pointing direction and you can actually snap it above the move 10 steps block. Now that's exactly what we're going to do, because syntax is what they do, they work in order. And we don't want the move 10 steps block. We don't want it to move 10 steps and then point in the direction we want it to. So bring out another pointing direction block, and then snap it into the right, oh wait, no, I need to change this around, and then snap it into the right arrow key press loop. Now what we have is basically if the left arrow is pressed, then it points in this direction, which is apparently right, which we don't want, and it will point in the right direction and move 10 steps, and vice versa with, well, it's pretty much the same thing. With the right arrow key, it points to the right. But what we want it to do is point to the left when the left arrow key is pressed and the right if the right arrow key is pressed. Unless you're doing something like Minecraft and it's completely different, which is, I don't like Minecraft. That's the only thing I don't like about Minecraft. But yes, Minecraft. So go to the drop down menu right next to the 90 degrees, close the window, right next to the 90 degrees, and then click on the negative 90 degrees negative 90 degrees option, and it has a left beside it. Now when you click left and click the green flag, as you see, it's doing nothing. And as you can see, it is doing nothing. So what we need to do is bring out a forever loop, because basically it's a bit complicated to explain. So I'm gonna try my best to explain it. It may not be the best, but yeah. So when the green flag is clicked, well, it's pretty easy. All it does is it checks if the key left arrow is pressed, and it checks if the right arrow key is pressed. Now, if none of them are being pressed when the green flag is clicked, then nothing will happen. So what we want to do is bring out a forever loop, snap both of those if loops inside the forever loop, and now it will forever be checking if the left arrow and right arrow key is pressed, and it will move in that direction. So as we can see, let's set rotations down left to right. We click the green flag, and as you can see, it moves about left to right when we press the arrow keys. I am pressing the arrow keys, trust me guys, I'm actually pressing the arrow keys. As you can see, it's moving bit by bit. So yeah, that's pretty much that. So in the last video, we noticed that the scratch cat actually looked like it was only looking in one direction. So one direction, get it? One direction as in the boy band, one direction, no forward, okay. So as you can see, it's only pointing in one direction. I mean, it's only looking like one thing. So if you go back to the costumes, you can see that it has the same two costumes, and we want them to interchange. So what do? You guessed it, next costume block. So go to looks. If you haven't seen the last video, I recommend you look at it. And I think I've said that a bit too late, but drag out the next costume block and then snap it inside this loop. Now, as you can see, it's always going to be looping because it has a forever loop. So it's always going to be going to the next costume. But as we saw in last episode, we need to drag out a wait block because it's moving pretty fast. So we'll drag out let's drag out a wait 0.07, because this is actually going to be going by really quick. So as you can see now, if we press the green flag, it moves according to how it's supposed to move. So it moves pretty nicely. So as I said, the aim for this video was also to bring another character into the stage. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So let's just right click and clean up so that it looks good, and drag out and get a new sprite. Now we'd want to choose a sprite from the library because that's where we get most of our sprites. So let's choose a sprite from the library, and it will bring you to this. Now this is basically the Scratch Sprite library, and it's basically just a library of stuff that you can find. So as you can see, there's like arrow keys here, and then there are like people here, there's a ball, loads of balls, apple, bananas, all of that stuff. But what we want to do, we want to go to animals, and let's get a dog. So get dog 2, click OK, and bam, we have another dog in the project. So this dog looks kind of small though, so let's make him bigger, big, and let's make him fly. Let's make him fly. So to fly, obviously we need to give him wings. So let's delete these two costumes because it's only this costume we're going to be using throughout this entire thing. And let's use the pencil and carefully, because if it's not careful, it's not gonna work, draw 2 wings on the dog. So we might want to zoom in for this tedious thing, and let's draw 2 wings. So wing 1, it's just gonna be that. It's not really that hard to draw wings, and let's connect it up, because if we don't connect it, then it's not gonna work. And then draw another wing like that, and boom, we have a flying dog with 2 wings. Now what we'd want to do is fill in the wings white. So let's pick white on the palette and fill in the wings with white. And as you can see on the project, it actually kind of looks like a flying dog. So we want its wings to be flapping. So what we'd want to do is duplicate this costume and then literally just like go back to the other costume and delete the wings off of that costume. Like delete the wings entirely out of that costume. And this is the costume that's going to have the wings flapped down. So let's draw some down flapped wings as you, let's just draw it. Let's see, how do you draw down flapped wings? Is it like, I think it's something like that. I'm not a good drawer, I'm a good drawer in real life, but I'm not a good computer drawer, so it's not gonna look like the best wing, but this looks pretty decent, looks like a decent wing. So now the dog's going to be flapping its wings. It looks so pathetic. Alright, so the dog is gonna be flapping its wings like that. Let's pick black again and let's just try to make a sneaky outline of another wing there, and then just connect that up. So now we have two wings. So the dog is flapping its wings. So what we'd want to do is drag out the when green flag clicked block, and then we'd go to control and drag out a forever loop. Now we just want it repeating the costume. We don't want it looking anyway. Let's just have it repeating the costume. So let's go to next costume, and then let's obviously bring out the wait block because it's going to be flapping it like crazy. As you can see, it's flapping it like crazy. So let's drag out a wait 1 seconds block and change the 1 second to 0.1 seconds. So now it's flapping at a moderate pace, and if we look over here, we'll see when the green flag's clicked, it'll, what is wrong with my grammar? Like, ever since I started doing YouTube, I realized I talk really fast, and my grammar isn't exactly on point. But I'm going to change sooner or later, guys. I'm going to change. Just trust me on that one. I will change. I can change. Anyways, so let's click the green flag and see how our project is. Left arrow, right arrow. So it's a pretty decent project. So it looks kind of nice. So the dog is pretty much limited. What is that? Okay, let's get rid of that. So let's just admire the project as it is now. Left arrow, right arrow. So we have created a cat and a dog that's flying and a cat walking across the street. But as I said, I want some interaction. So I'm going to make them talk. You heard me. I said I'm gonna make them talk. So what we'd want to do is drag out a when space key pressed block, and let's work on the cat for now. So when the space key is pressed block, let's drag that out into the script area for the cat. Now the space key, we haven't used it for any more functions in the dog or the cat, so we can safely use the space key and know this is not going to cause any problem with any other areas of the syntax. So we drag out the when space key pressed block, and we go into looks because it's talking, but it doesn't really look like it's talking. It's probably sound, but we'll go into sound later. And we'll drag out a say hello for 2 seconds block. Snap that under the space key, and also, since as you can see, this cat has a sound called meow, and let's just play that. As you can see, it's just a normal cat meowing. So let's go to sound and drag the play sound meow into the syntax. But the thing is, as I said with the pointing direction, we want to put it above the hello block so it functions before we say hello. Now there are two, this is kind of complicated and I want to address this now before we address it later. The play sound and the play sound until done. Now play sound, it literally plays the sound, that's literally all it does. It just sends a signal to the sound saying play it, and it doesn't even finish playing, it just sends the signal and then carries on with the rest of the project. So let's see what happens when we play sound until done. It just plays it, and then when it finishes, that's when it continues with the project. And I hope you're understanding this because it's going to be crucial in future projects we're going to be doing throughout this tutorial series. So as you can see, the play sound, it just plays the sound and carries on, and the until done plays it and then finishes it, and that's when it carries on. Now please remember this because it's very important for creating a Scratch project. So let's bring this back in. Let's just delete that and drag back the hello and then put that back. So now we have when space key is pressed, it plays the sound meow and it says hello. Now because this video is kind of going over the amount of time I wanted it to, let's go back into the dog sprite, and we're only going to have the dog saying hi and the cat saying hello. So when the space key is pressed, the cat says meow and says hello, which is cat for meow. I mean, what? The cat says meow, which is cat for hello, yes. And then what we want to do in response to hello, we want the dog to say hi. So we bring out the same when space key is pressed, but go into control and drag out a wait 2 seconds block. Now what this does, as you can see, is very clever. Well, kind of clever. Anyone with a brain could notice it. So as you can see, when the space key is pressed, it says hello for just 2 seconds. And we want the dog to say hi immediately after. Let's just drag that back out. Immediately after that 2 seconds. So we just want to make the dog wait for 2 seconds and then reply to the cat, which says hello. So that's gonna be going for 2 seconds, and then this entire thing waits, and then it's going to be saying hi. So with the sounds, the dog has its own sound. So the dog has a woof sound, and I'm just recording, I'm sorry about that. The dog has its own woof sound. So, sorry about that. The dog has its own woof sound. So, as the exact same thing we did with the cat, we want to do with the dog. So go to sound and play sound dog 1, drag that underneath the wait 2 seconds block, because it's gonna wait 2 seconds and then play the sound. And then let's go back into looks, drag out the say hello for 2 seconds and change and click on hello and change it to hi. Let's just capitalize the H and say hi for 2 seconds. So now what we have done, let's just maximize it because that's literally the project done now. We press the green flag let's stop the project first. So that's what it's gonna look like. Press the green flag, and then we move the cat with the left and right arrow keys. Let's press the space and see what happens. So as you can see, our project is finally finished. We've made the scratch cat say hello and then made the dog say hi immediately after. We've both added sounds into them. We've made a flying dog. We've learned about the scratch library, and we've made the cat run at our will. In other words, when the left and right arrow key is pressed. Oh my gosh, this is wonderful. So let's click the green flag, left and right arrow keys, and let's just press space to see how it works. This works absolutely perfectly. So that's pretty much it. That's our second project in our second video. We're making record time here. So guys, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. If this video did help you, please send a redstone signal to that like button and power it up. And if it didn't help, hit the dislike button and let me know why in the comment section down below. And also, if you did enjoy this video, comment down below what you would like to see and suggest for future projects on my channel. But for now, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.